Namaskar to everyone, and welcome again to another week of questions and answers. Happy to see all of you here. My name is Dean, and I will be here today answering the different questions you have about spiritual practice, spiritual healing, spiritual growth, research, spiritual dimension, anything, any obstacles, any difficulties. And we are part of SSRF, Spiritual Science Research Foundation, which is established in 2006 with two goals. One goal is to educate society about the spiritual dimension, and the other is to guide spiritual seekers, spiritually curious people, those who would like to grow spiritually and change for the better. So we have been doing this kind of service on a volunteer basis. We are an all-volunteer organization. All of us do this as part of our spiritual practice. And whatever we share also, we also are practicing. It's not just theory. So we have been doing this mission through our website, which has over 800 articles in English and translated in 23 languages. We have a YouTube channel, which some of you are watching now, with over 15 million views. And we have weekly meetings where spiritual seekers attend and share about their efforts, obstacles. There is the theoretical part. And we have 50 weekly meetings in, I think, 8, 9 different languages. What is also important is that in our name is the word research, Spiritual Science Research Foundation. So we focus a lot on research. All of the articles that we present are based on research that we do in two ways. One part is through using different devices, tools, machines, which can measure and show vibrations, frequencies, auras. And also we have spiritual seekers who have advanced sixth sense. That means that they are able to perceive from the spiritual dimension, and they can explain what is happening in the subtle, and they can also, some of them can also draw. So maybe on our website you saw some what we call subtle drawings of the subtle spiritual dimension. They're very unique, and they show how, for example, different clothing impacts us, different colors, different habits, behaviors, practices. So today you can ask your questions, but before that, usually we do a session of chanting. Chanting is a practice that is very conducive for today's times. We can do it any place, any time. We can do it throughout the day. There are no limitations. And we can also do it sitting down in one place, in one quiet place, which helps us to go into a state of meditation. So we will do 2 minutes of chanting now, of one chant, universal chant, which helps us to take more benefit from this session and to get some positive energy, calmness, different things. Anyway, you will, for some of you who are new, you can try and you will see what you experience. We will do 2 minutes of chanting, and you can listen to the chant and you can repeat it in your mind. It is listening will help to some extent, but repeating is practice, and repeating will give us more benefit. So we can start the chant now, and we will start with the questions and answers in 2 minutes. You can have them ready and share in the chat on YouTube and Facebook.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो 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 भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो.
Okay, we can start. So please share any questions that you may have, and I will look at the two channels and try to answer. And then if anyone wants to share what kind of experiences they had during this session, or if you attend the daily sessions, the chanting meditation sessions, you can also share about that, the ones that we have on YouTube. Okay, while we're waiting for questions, maybe I will share some points. So mostly what I experienced in the different sessions that we have and different lectures is that we receive the information, like feedback from people, that they are quite surprised that they've been doing some different practices for many years, and they didn't experience what they experienced in the chanting sessions. So they're very surprised. Some told me, I'm doing mantras for like 3 years, and I was not able to experience this meditative state with no thought, like absolutely no thoughts, like in the chanting session. Of course, we do group sessions, so it's a bit easier, there's more positivity. But it made me wonder why it is so, and it shows one of the basic principles of spiritual practice, that spiritual practice should be as per time, as per level, and as per our path. So in today's times, some people like to do different mantras, but they will not all have the same impact. So it is like if we have many vitamins, yeah? So someone just says, I will take vitamin A, I will take vitamin C, I will take vitamin D. But what they need is vitamin B. So taking A, C, D will not make an impact on their health. They will not see it in the results. But if they take vitamin B, they will see it. So it's similar with the spiritual practice. If it's as per the time, in this era, in this time period that we live in, then it will have more results. So this is one of the reasons why we suggest chanting as a spiritual practice. Mantras, of course, they help, but they have a different purpose and depends how you do it. And we cannot just choose any mantra that we feel like. It should be appropriate for what we need. So just thought to share this with all of you because it's a common thing that happens. Okay, we have a question from Liu Jia Zheng. So can I ask, recently I feel a lot of loneliness. I do not know how to overcome it. Whatever I do, it does not go away. Chanting and prayer would just make me cry, and watching YouTube, looking at Instagram no longer works as distraction from it. Okay, Jajen, if you can share, maybe this, when you chant and you pray, it makes you cry. What kind of emotion do you feel? Is it crying out of sadness, or is it crying out of happiness, or crying out of gratitude? What is the emotion behind that you're experiencing? About loneliness, I don't know your actual situation, but we have to see what is the root of the loneliness. What is causing it? What kind of loneliness it is? So sometimes people have loneliness because they would like to have a relationship. They would like to have a partner, romantic partner, so they feel lonely. Other people, they feel lonely because they like to have many friends and they don't have friends, so they feel lonely. And some other, it happens, spiritual seekers, they can be around many people, but they feel lonely because they don't have the environment of spiritual people around them. So they don't have someone to talk to or feel close to at that level. Someone who understands them, their spiritual path, their spiritual interests. So for all of these, there can be different solutions. So in the first case, it is to accept destiny, that all relationships happen as per destiny. So when it is as per my destiny, then I will have a relationship. Or if it is about friends or generally feeling like I don't have someone, then we can take auto suggestion for that also. Or we can remember that God is with us. And in case of a spiritual, which is what you shared, Jajang, like you said that you feel very far away from God, then it is the solution is to make more efforts to connect to God. So here also you share that you feel far away from God when chanting. Actually, this could be a obstacle of distress, of negative energies, because it's actually the opposite happens. During chanting, we are connecting to a divine name. So that divine energy, divine presence is imbibed in us, is around us. So actually that is the moment where we have more closeness to God. So if you feel that you feel very far away from God when chanting, it can be some obstacle from negative energies. So for that you can pray, you can surrender, you can talk to God, you make breaks in your chanting sessions to talk, to express things. You can look at the image of the principle or the deity that you're devoted to. That used to help me when I would feel like that, feel lonely. Then I would look at the image and I would talk and I would pray and express gratitude and have that personal connection. And for removing negative energies, just to realize, to increase the awareness that this is not my thought, getting obstructed and you can do spiritual healing remedies. You can keep nyas with the 5 fingers in front of your Ajna chakra, that is this forehead chakra in between the eyebrows. Because usually when it comes to thoughts, negative thoughts, they come through this chakra. So that may help. And you can always speak to some spiritual seekers. We have a live chat, and I think you're in touch with some spiritual seekers in your town, so that can help also to express to someone, talk to someone. Then we don't feel lonely in our path. But the main thing is to connect to God from within more and more. It's with practice, it will be overcome. Hope this helps. If you have any more questions, please share. Opal, Namaskar Opal. Opal shared, if I want to contribute to SSRF by translating some of the lectures to my native language, please guide me what I should do. So it is very nice, Opal, to hear this. It is very nice that you have desire to serve, because it's like not just doing spiritual practice for oneself, but it also helps others. It helps to spread spirituality. So in today's times, there is a lot of importance to spreading spirituality. We should give importance to our own spiritual practice, and also one part to spread spirituality. Because in today's world, in today's times, there is a lot of negativity, as we can see, and all the things that are happening, the state of mind of people. So they need a lot of help. People need to know about solutions, spiritual solutions, because up to 80% of the problems in lives are due to spiritual causes. So if you would like to translate, it's very nice. You can be in touch with our seekers, but we would just need to know the language. If you can share with us which languages do you speak, and then we can see to give you some service, spiritual service. You can translate the lectures, or there are also articles to translate, social media posts to translate, many different things we have. So there's a lot of translation service available. But I would be curious to know which language it is, because next year we're planning a big tour in many countries in 4 continents. So we may need help in some countries. We're going to Asia, Latin America, Europe, almost all Europe, and North America. So in some of those countries, they speak different languages. So Palya, please share, and then we can see further. Pai Wonder, Namaskar, Pai. Nice to see you again this week. So sometimes I get a lot of negative thoughts. I recently had a little accident because I was not mindful. What can I do to be more mindful? So it's a good practical question. So here it is good that you are finding the reason why that mindfulness is not there. When we have many negative thoughts, or in general when we have many thoughts, then our focus and concentration on the present moment is less, especially if we're thinking about the past or the future. This happens to everyone, yeah? That we think about past and future. We are not in the present moment, or we have worries, or we have many things in mind, tasks that we will do. In this case, negative thoughts about self or about situations. We are a lot in our thoughts. Then we cannot observe what is happening. So the good thing is there is a solution, and the solution here is to do an auto-suggestion. So I think you know what is an autosuggestion because we talked about it in previous sessions, but we'll just share for the others who are new. Autosuggestion is a phrase that we repeat to ourselves um, every day in different sessions to reduce the impressions that we have in the subconscious mind. So in case of negative thoughts, we can select the specific negative thoughts, the specific situation, and phrase an autosuggestion, and then repeat that autosuggestion. So Pi, if you can share what kind of negative thoughts you're having, and when it happens, and what are the consequences, then you can put in chat. If, of course, you feel comfortable to share um, in a public chat. If not, you can share in general. Then we can frame an auto-suggestion. Okay, many more questions, and I see some new people also. Namaskar to Airam and Shivani. So Liu Jiajin asked another question. So my sister asked me to ask a saint how to know she's doing the right thing. She's still in school and she's always worrying about the future. She complains friends keep changing, friends becoming enemies, regular social problems. You can tell her to come to these sessions if she wants, and she can ask her questions here also. She may get some different insights from the questions that everyone is asking. So about worrying about the future, here autosuggestion will help her. We can help her to frame it. So, for example, one general for worrying would be, whenever I start worrying about the future, I will realize that until now things have been going well, and I can only impact the present moment. So I will focus on the present and see what I can practically do to improve myself or improve my situation, like that. So it's to bring the mind back from the thoughts about the future and worries to the present moment, and have that calmness of mind by realizing that until now things have been going okay. But this is general, of course, her situation. I don't know the details, so we will need details to give a specific one. And about social problems here also, we can give a perspective and take an auto-suggestion that things change in life, and there's destiny, and okay, some friends may not be close to us anymore, but some other friends we will get later. So if some friends are not good to us, then we can have that patience and positivity that, okay, I will learn from it, and I will see what the future brings, which other people I will meet later. Okay, so she worries about the exam result and she worries about World War because you told her about it. Okay. So, about the exam results, okay, here also can be a specific auto-suggestion. If she's a good student and she worries about the exam results, she can give a perspective that all is fine until now I have good grades. So it's unrealistic worrying, yeah? Then I will calm down and I will continue with my studies because I will have good results. But about World War, it depends on how we tell people, judging. So, because it's a serious topic, and of course, now with the things happening in the world, with the situation in Middle East and Europe and different places, with the conflicts and wars, so some worries can be in people's mind, and it is predicted that in the coming times the situation will escalate. So, and it is next year predicted that situation will escalate a lot. But one thing that we can remember is that if we do spiritual practice, we will get more protection. So how it happens? Basically, there are two levels. One level is in terms of the protection of positive energy. So if we do spiritual practice, or generally good people, positive people who do good things and are behaving better, they have more positive energy around them. So that positive energy serves kind of like a protective bubble around us. And if we grow spiritually, that bubble grows more and more and more. We have this kind of protection around us at the spiritual level. So we get less impacted by external situations. And another way that it happens is that we can receive understanding or even thoughts in challenging situations. So we had one case of a lady who contacted us on the website who shared that some 10 years ago that she was in England and she was in a store and she had a strong thought to get out of the store. And she was at the cash register. And at that moment, she listened to that thought. She didn't know why this thought came, so she came out. And then a few moments later, there was a big, it was a terrorist attack, and it was, some people got harmed by it, but she did not. So later she asked one spiritually evolved person why this happened, and the answer was that God helped you because you are having that spiritual connection inside. So if we grow spiritually, we're able to more and more perceive this kind of guidance or suggestions or help that comes from the divine. If it is like a radio wave connection, right? Like you have a radio that connects or a Wi-Fi. So if the connection is good, you get a good signal. So similarly, if we are spiritually connected, then we are able to get thoughts in different situations to get protection. So the solution is to do spiritual practice and to grow spiritually. So some of you maybe have had these kind of questions also if you read the article on our website about the current world situation. Shivani asked, I don't feel like participating in any worldly activities. At the same time, the quality of spiritual practice is not as how it should be, leaving me very unhappy in both aspects. I am unable to overcome this obstacle. So, Shivani, this is actually something common that happens as we grow spiritually, depending on our spiritual level, the stage of our spiritual journey or our spiritual practice. So initially, a person is not interested in spiritual things, and they're more interested in just regular life. Getting a car, getting a house, getting a job, all these things. Getting more money, having fun, traveling, but they are not so interested in spirituality or changing or growing. So then, as we grow, when we reach a halfway point, let's say 50%, then we are at the point where we feel like here and there. Slowly moving towards the more spiritual interest. So on one hand, we are not as interested in these worldly benefits, but on the other hand, our stage of spiritual practice or commitment is not at a level to utilize the whole time for that. So the solution is, step by step, to give more and more to spiritual practice. So if, let's say, this week I'm able to do 2 hours daily, so I can see in the next week how you can do 2.5 hours daily. Whatever it is, whether it's chanting or doing, let's say, this practice of working on our personality defects, or doing some spiritual service, studying spirituality so we can improve our spiritual practice. We can increase it step by step. And as we increase it, what happens is we get more and more desire to do it, because we get that inner satisfaction. We get spiritual experiences, we get changes. So then we feel like, oh, I want this more. I want to do more and more spiritual practice. It comes from within, yeah. But to come to that point, we need to also implement some plan or some schedule, so that our spiritual practice happens on a daily basis and happens in a planned manner. If we do it in that way, then it will be better, because what happens? Our mind goes through fluctuations, yeah? Every day is not the same. Some days we're very, very good, very happy, very peaceful, yeah? Everyone feels that. And some days we feel like, oh, it's a really bad day. I think it's common, yeah? So if we feel like I will do spiritual practice only on the good days, then we will miss out continuity in spiritual practice. Or some people, they say, no, I will do spirituality only on the bad days. There's different personalities. Some they do only when they're feeling good, some they do only when they're feeling bad. And they do when they feel bad. When they feel good, like, okay, today I don't need spiritual practice, I'm fine. But actually we should have continuity. Regardless of what happens, how we feel, we should keep continuity in a spiritual practice. Then we grow faster, and then we get experiences faster. So when we're good, it will be easier to connect, and we will get some experiences. Where we're not feeling good, we push through it, and then by divine grace, we also get some experiences. And we will be able to overcome those low phases, those more difficult phases in an easier way. So just try to, Shivani, increase step by step your efforts, first in quantity and later in quality. And if you have any questions about it, you can ask our seekers in live chat, who are there to answer throughout the day, and they have experience also with spiritual practice. Or if you're attending our weekly meetings, you can ask they're called satsangs. You can ask the conductor of the satsang. It's nice today, a lot of practical questions. Shows all of your curiosity and desire. Okay, Opal, you shared the Farsi. At this moment, we don't have lectures in that language, but we can see in the future. But we can see, because you speak English, since you speak English, then there can be some other ways that you can see about doing service. Okay, Eiram, I hope I'm saying it correctly, Eiram, stem. I sense a spiritual force following me at all times, affecting my dealings everywhere that I go. I want to drive away that force, to cut off any connection with it. So from this, what you shared, I'm guessing that it is some negative entity, negative force that is causing you obstacles. So it is good that you have the awareness and that you are able to perceive from the spiritual dimension. And in today's times, actually, many people have this kind of a problem. Many people. Around 80% of people in the world have some sort of impact of the vibrations on negativity, and some others are impacted more. Say 20-30% are impacted more. So here there can be different things. There can be, let's say, ancestors, or it can be some entity, negative entity So depending on that, there can be different solutions. So one good thing is that with spiritual practice, like chanting, we can have protection from those kinds of attacks. In my case, I also used to have many such attacks in the past. After doing spiritual practice for some years, those attacks stopped. Or I had more protection, so the impact on me was reduced. But you can do the chanting whenever you feel this kind of obstacle. We suggest that everyone does two chants. One is the chant for ancestor problems due to departed ancestors or family members and relatives from previous generations. And we can do, let's say, the chanting for ancestors. Our seekers will share in the chat which chant it is. It's called Shri Gurudev Datta. And you can chant, let's say, in the morning until noon, that chant, whenever you can, during activities, during travel, during preparing for the day. And the rest of the day, after the 12 o'clock, you can do the regular chant, like universal chant, which we suggest Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Or if you're very connected to your religion of birth, you can chant as per your religion. There are different chants as per the religion. Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, Jewish, different chants. So also what you can do is pray for protection whenever you feel that kind of obstacle or attack. You can just pray. For prayer, it helps to keep your hands in this position together with the thumbs out and put on this chakra. So in this way, and this helps to have an easier connection and imbibe more divine consciousness. So you can do like that and then put your hands down in the chest area in front of the heart area in the center. And then you pray for protection. And then any obstacles from negative energies are removed. Okay, many more questions. So I wonder, another question. I was feeling emotional when mother said that the house, my parents' house, belongs to my sister-in-law. This is more of repetitive in nature. I'm guessing that what you're trying to say is that emotionalism is repetitive in nature. So, so brother got recently married and paid a big amount for the house. Okay. Things that happen in family are part of destiny, and also the parents, they decide who they will give what in the as inheritance. So here what can help is that because you said it's feeling emotional, it can help to do auto-suggestions not to impact us as much. So there are different types of auto-suggestions. One type of auto-suggestion is when we make a mistake. When we do some incorrect action, we have incorrect thought, emotion, or reaction. This is one type. They're called A types. And then there is B types, which are auto-suggestions for situations when others are making some incorrect action or mistake, or when there is some external situation that we cannot control. So in this case, if it is a situation that you have no control over, then autosuggestion will be to accept the situation, to give a positive perspective or a perspective to be able to accept it and to remain calm and not to be affected. For example, in this case, okay, brother has given the money, so they want to give the house. We'll try to accept it and remain stable or remain positive about the future, something like that. but okay, we cannot guide about personal things in family. This is just more in terms of how to remain stable in that situation. How to help us not to be impacted as much. Because when we are emotional or we are upset or we're angry, then also we will not be able to interact or communicate in a good way with the others in our family. And it can create additional problems. So if we're calm and stable, then we can discuss things. We can also come to solutions in a easier way. Okay, Shivani. Gratitude to God. So Maria Efa, Namaskar Maria, she asked, I don't know if I framed auto-suggestion properly. Just to read it. When Effin shared with me the cat, he told Mina that I took some soap for me. I felt disappointed to Kathy as I trusted her to not tell anyone. Okay, so you felt like disappointed or betrayed, like why she told, yeah? So here auto-suggestion would be, here we can see, was it correct what we did? If this soap, if we took, was it correct to do or not correct to do? So if it was not correct to do, then we can see that in a way, someone telling about it helps to make us aware what we should do correctly. So we can look at it as a situation that helps us to improve. But if it was not correct, that meaning in a way that what you did, there is nothing wrong, and someone is telling about it, so in a way they're committing a mistake, then we can take auto-suggestion in that way, to remain calm and to say that why you share this about me, because what I did was nothing wrong about it. So we can frame the auto-suggestion in that way. The main thing is to, even if we say like that we should not have that reaction in the mind. We should not have that resentment. If we have it, we should wait, be patient, calm down, take auto-suggestion, and then afterwards say. And if it was something that we didn't do correctly, we should apologize and say, okay, yeah, actually it helped me to make me aware. So I apologize for taking your soap. I will make sure you have it next time. I don't know the full situation, but this is the principle. Hope it helps, Maria. So then we have next question from Priya. I try to get up early to chant because I feel as the day goes on, it becomes too difficult for me to sit down chanting after noon. What time is too early to get up and chant? Does this time change throughout the year? For example, in the summer, the daylight is longer, later daylight is shorter. There is daylight saving times. So it is very good effort, Priya, that you're making, that you have this determination to complete your chant, and you're trying to find the time of the day where it is easier for you. It's a good effort, a good desire. So if you get up early, usually the most positive part of the day is around 4 in the morning. From 4 in the morning until a little bit after sunrise. That time of the day is very positive. The time period of midnight until 3:30 in the morning is the most negative. So it's from midnight to 3:30 in the morning, we should be sleeping so we don't get that negative impact. And if we're able to get up early, no problem. Of course, now it doesn't mean that everyone needs to wake up at 4 in the morning. We can chant throughout the day. Any time of the day, if we have the connection, we can chant. And we should chant throughout the day. But if in your case, Priya, because you said that afternoon is more difficult, then you can try to complete your chanting in the morning time, sitting down chanting. And then the rest of the day you can chant in your mind during activities. We can go to next question. We have around 10 more minutes, so I think we'll cover all of these. If someone has any more questions, you can share also. So Swati, Namaskar Swati, you shared how to overcome criticizing personality defect. Which all points I have to consider to overcome it. So it is good that you want to overcome criticizing. And criticizing is, okay, all defects are not good because they give us some problems and they give problems to others. But criticizing is not good because it keeps us separate from others, because we see only negative things in others. Yeah, we will not criticize if we look at the nice things. We will criticize if we see something that we feel is not proper. Their behavior, their attitude, their thinking process, their actions. So to overcome criticizing here, there are two parts. If it is expressed or if it is in the mind. If it is expressed, then it is more urgent to work on, because it impacts others. If we criticize others, it makes them feel bad. So they can be demotivated, they can feel inferior, they can get angry, different reactions they can have. So if it's expressed, then it is first priority. Then auto-suggestion will be, whenever I want to criticize, I put the name of a person, this and this person, I'll become aware of it, I will realize it will make them feel bad, and it will keep me extroverted, or it will keep me focused on, it will not help my spiritual growth. So I will remain calm and chant. So that is at the first level, just to stop to express it. And then later we can work on the criticizing that happens in the mind. I don't know if it happens to others, that we're quiet, we don't say anything, but in the mind we're looking, this one, look how they're doing this, they should not be doing like that, why they did like that. So this criticizing can go on in our mind. So for that we can take a different auto-suggestion depending on what we're criticizing. If we're criticizing something that is not there, sometimes we can do like that also. We criticize, but that person is not doing anything wrong. It is more because of our prejudice or because of our expectations or judgment or different things. Then we can give such a perspective that this person is doing things correctly, my conclusion is incorrect, so I will learn from that person. And if someone is doing something incorrect and we want to criticize them, we can give a perspective like, everyone makes mistakes. I also make mistakes. They will learn, they will work on themselves. And I should instead be focused on myself, where I need to improve. Spiritual practice, spiritual journey, spiritual growth is about changing ourselves. We cannot change others. We spread spirituality, okay, we talk to others, we try to help them, but we cannot ourselves change them. They have to make the effort to change. Our first duty should be that we change ourselves if we want to grow. So instead of focusing on criticizing others, we should be introspecting where I can improve or where I'm acting incorrectly. Then this criticizing others will reduce. Hope this helps. Eiram asked another question. I was told that I have a life force within me, but I don't use it. What does it mean? And what can I do to use it? Okay. So actually, we all have life force within us, and we all have a soul. Every human being has a life force. We cannot live without a life force. It is called the flow of energy in our body. It's a vital energy body that we have. The vital energy gives energy to our body, mind, and intellect, subconscious mind. So that vital force is there. And the best way to use it is to use it for a proper purpose. So we don't have unlimited energy. Energy gets depleted when we use it for different things. It gets depleted at the physical level. If we do a lot of physical activity, we get tired, yes? And then at the spiritual level, if we do some things, we can lose the energy, or if we do some things, we can gain the energy. Like if we do spiritual practice, we can gain the energy, positive energy, like chanting, like spiritual service, different practices like that. So the solution is, best way to use it is to do spiritual practice and to spread spirituality. Because when we spread spirituality, then also we will get divine energy, because we are in line with the divine mission. That is the best use of that, what you said, life force within us. LR, you shared, if our birth chart says that in this life we will not realize God, attain final liberation, can that be changed with intense spiritual practice? Yes, it can be changed. Even any kind of destiny, the situation that we have, can be overcome with spiritual practice. Usually in today's times, we have on average 65% destiny, 35% free will. In our first life, it was not like that. It was 100% free will, no destiny. But over many lives, we collected destiny. We have an accumulated account of destiny that we have to go through. So the best way to overcome destiny is with spiritual practice. And even if someone has 99% destiny, with that 1% free will, they can progress spiritually with intense efforts. And because divine grace is more powerful even than destiny. And also when it comes to birth chart, horoscopes, also we have to see who analyzes it, because it depends on the spiritual level of the person who is looking at the horoscope also. So depends on their ability. So not everything that is told in a horoscope is correct. We have an article about horoscopes, and I think on average 30% is correct, what is analyzed. So mostly it is not 100% correct, depends on the spiritual level of the person. Many things can be correct, many things can be seen. But this is also an important factor. And but main thing is spiritual practice can overcome anything. Desire can overcome anything. In spiritual practice, desire is the most important on a spiritual journey. With strong desire, we can overcome anything, any situation. 80% importance is spiritual desire. Okay, we can take one more question. It is from Satish. My family members keep complaining that I give preference to spiritual practice over family. However, I try my best to maintain balance so I can fulfill my family duties on time. Any guidance? So Satish, yes, we can understand that when we do spiritual practice, like if we do a job, family may not complain because they understand that, okay, this is money that we need, so everyone has a job, so we have to do a job, so they will not complain as much about the job. If someone works 12 hours a day and they come home at 10 at night and don't give time to family, then yes, family members will complain about the job also. But if it's a regular 9 to 5 job, usually no one complains. But if we do spiritual practice, then if they don't understand what is the importance, why to do this, we should be doing other things, then they may complain about it. So it is good that you're trying to maintain this balance and to give time to the family. So you can plan it like that. You can, in your daily plan, you can plan your spiritual practice and you can plan the time for family. So for example, you can do chanting in the morning before work, if you're working. When family is busy or they're asleep, then you do your chanting practice. Then when you come home, you agree with the family what will be the time when you will do your chanting. And then the rest of the time you give to them. Or when you will do your spiritual service. And what is important is that when we do give time to family, it should be 100% given. So it should not be time like spending time with family and browsing the mobile or lost in thoughts or talking but not really paying attention. Then, of course, family members will not feel good. They will feel like it's not quality time. We say, I'm spending time with you, but we're not really giving them that quality time. So when we do give time, we should give full time. Then everyone's happy. With our children, with our spouse, same thing. With children also sometimes parents maybe experience this. We spend time with children, but we're not fully with them. Like we are thinking about some other things and they ask something, we say, yeah. But we're not listening fully. So then they keep coming again and again, like to try to get attention, if we give proper time, we give it quality time, then we're more happy. Okay, now we have 2 more minutes. So, okay, maybe we can take this last one. How seekers staying in ashram from Swati keep themselves dedicated to spiritual practice. Which all qualities can we learn from seekers staying in ashram? So we have some ashrams, and there are also workshops in India, in Goa, at the Ashram and Spiritual Research Center of the Maharshi University of Spirituality. We have workshops every week. So, sorry, not every week, every month. And if anyone's interested, they can go to the website of spiritual.university. And you can find in the curriculum area information about the workshop. Our seekers can also paste it in the chat. So if anyone would like to get this amazing and unique experience of staying in an ashram, you can apply. And being in an ashram itself is very, very supportive for our spiritual practice. So spiritual practice is easier because we don't have the distractions, there is no negative energy from the outside because it's a very positive, very spiritually charged environment with divine consciousness. So it gives us more enthusiasm, more ability to do. And in terms of the seekers who are staying in ashram to do spiritual practice, one thing is that they're very dedicated, very committed. They have strong desire to do spiritual practice. So that is one thing we can learn from them, that commitment. Now we can also do the same at our home. In my case, I quit my career in 2015, 8 years ago. And then I focused on full-time spiritual practice. I went to ashram to live in India. I spent from that point around 4 years in India living in an ashram. And but before that, when I was working, I was also doing spiritual practice. So I was trying to utilize most of my free time for spiritual practice. So their commitment also we can implement in our daily life. And we can keep growing spiritually also. We have many cases of seekers who have progressed spiritually, and they've reached even the spiritual level of 60%, which is a good level at which we reach a stage where one does not have to get reborn again. We're free from the cycle of reincarnation. It's not the final goal, it's not the final stage, but it's a good stage, and there are not so many people on the planet at that level. So some seekers who are living in ashram, they reach that, and some seekers who are living at home also reach that. But of course, it's a bit more challenging because there's less time and the environment is not so conducive in the cities. But we can still practice, and we can also apply for the ashram to go and visit and go for the workshop. So dear seekers, we've come to the end of today's session. I see there are 2 questions remaining from Govindarama and Airam. So you can ask those questions in our live chat or on our WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp channel, or on Facebook, direct messages you can ask also. So our seekers will be able to reply to those questions. And any other questions, you can come next week. We will have another session next week. Every week we have this Q&A. During the week, we also have daily chanting sessions, chanting meditation with Sadhguru Siriak Vale. This can help you a lot to get a lot of positive energy, divine consciousness. It can help you to get a deeper chanting, some experiences maybe. And we also have our weekly meetings that you can find on the events section on our website. They are welcome spiritual meetings. They're free of charge. These chanting sessions are also free of charge. And collective chanting sessions are from 5:30 to 6:30 Europe time, Monday to Saturday. We also have on 26th November a special meditation session for 3 hours. You can join anytime during those 3 hours. 26th November from 4 to 7 p.m. Europe time. So I'm very grateful to have had this session. I'm seeing that some of you are sharing gratitude. So I'm also very grateful. It was a very nice session, a lot of nice questions, and shows all of your desire and curiosity. And I look forward to seeing you next week. From all of us at the SSRF, we wish you blissful efforts during the coming week in your spiritual practice, and that you keep learning and growing at a fast pace. Namaskar.